So I remember my first experience of Dunedin. I came here on a bus from Queenstown to visit my friend, and I just remember looking around and thinking like, this place looks boring and stupid, and it was an overcast day, and certain days when the sun is hiding behind the clouds and it's trying to seep through and bring some life and radiance to the world, but failing, and the world around you looks gray and stale, and you only notice the buildings that are lacking certain character. They look old and grumpy and worn and rusty, and these are the buildings that my eyes looked upon. And I remember looking around and thinking like, this place is at the bottom of the South Island of New Zealand. There isn't much going for it. I got off the bus in the industrial quarter of town, and I was just like, this place has nothing to offer. There's no magic here. I want to go back to Queenstown where there are mountains and lakes, and the beauty of the place is obvious to the eye. Everywhere you look, there's a beautiful scene, but here I'm in the industrial area. What's going on? And my friend picks me up, and we go on this walk, right? They had this walk in mind. I'm going to take you on a walk. You need to check out Dunedin. And so we went there, and it was in this kind of grungy part of town. It was on the waterfront, and again, it was a kind of gloomy day. There was like, warehouses I was looking at rusty old, train tracks that had been abandoned. I was looking at like, train carts that were just sitting there with graffiti on them. And I was looking at over there, was this chimney with smoke kind of gushing out of it. And I was like, what's going on? You told me Dunedin's beautiful. And they just said, trust me, it's really beautiful here. We went on this walk, and it was rather uninspiring, and I was tired from the bus ride over, and I was feeling like I wanted some kind of magic or inspiration, but I wasn't finding it. And then I spent the night with my friend. We went to some of the student flats in Dunedin, which are notorious for being, filled with alcohol bottles that have been cast away, shattered glass, burned couches, things like this. And we went to a quintessential Dunedin flat. I remember just being there and thinking like, this is crazy. There are blowflies flying around. There's mess everywhere. What's going on? And then, I started drinking at that point, and then I kind of lost consciousness. I got so drunk, and that was my first experience with Dunedin. The next thing I knew, I was on the bus home back to Queenstown, back to where the magic was. Well, let me tell you that I'm making this video here 8 years later, and well, it's not the place that I first saw when I arrived here. In fact, Dunedin is the most magical place I've ever found in the world so far, and it's my home, and it's given me so much over the years. It's given me everything I could have ever dreamed of having in my life, and I'm so grateful for Dunedin. And I can come to a beautiful place like this, just go for a walk, get a coffee and chill out. And so I love Dunedin. My heart is here in Dunedin. I'm gonna go traveling. I've got a lot of places I'm going to explore and places I want to live in, but Dunedin will always be my home. I always come back here. It's my base. But what's the moral in the story? It's kind of like, you can't judge a place or a person or a thing or a path in life or anything based on your first experience of it. You have to have faith that something will reveal itself over time, and you can discover a lot of magic and adventure there if you give it a chance. And that's what I've learned in my journey to Dunedin. Well, it's one of the things I learned, one of the many, many things I learned. And I don't know why I was inspired to tell this particular story today, but yeah, I'm just walking around here in this place called Port Chalmers, which was one of my favorite places to visit, and yeah, I felt inspired to share this story. So that's all for this one. Give things a chance, honestly. If something seems stale and boring on the surface, just trust that there's magic and adventure and inspiration there if you look for it, if you seek for it, and if you trust that it is there to be found, waiting for you. All right, good luck, and I'll see you.